Thank you to Verta Stargo for their generous donation on Patreon. If you'd like to join them in their generosity, the link to my Patreon page is in the description.
As for you, Benjamin.
The moment he says my name and turns to face me, I instinctively straighten my back. Yes?
Could you give us a bit of time, Utasharu-kun? I want to talk to him alone. Oh, okay. I'll go help the freshmen that are practicing over there, if you don't mind. That'd be a big help, thank you.
Oh god. Keisuke picks up his racket from the floor, walking away with his shoulders slacked. I've gotten good enough at reading him that I can tell right away he feels frustrated, even when he tries to hide it. Part of me can't help feeling bad for him, but this is a sport. No matter how hard you try, and no matter what you do, there'll always be winners and losers. You can't always be on top.
So...
Yeah? Crap, I got distracted for a second and had to be snapped back to reality by him.
I'll be honest, I was a bit of a loss for how to handle you.
Handle me? What's this about?
When you first joined this school, I noticed that the fire you usually had when playing had dimmed considerably. Now, a little bit of a slump is normal. Not every player can be at their best 100% of the time. But when the situation kept extending itself and getting worse and worse, I got very worried. I thought I had to do something to help light your spark again, or you would eventually fizzle out completely.
Fizzle out? Me?
Your slump got pretty bad, kiddo. I tried thinking of ways to encourage you over the years, but no matter what I tried, nothing really seemed to work.
Wait, was that why you invited Morisaki-san and those other players at the start of the school year?
Yes. It was a pain in the ass to coordinate it, but I knew I needed some kind of incentive to give you. It worked a little bit, and I still felt like the situation hadn't really been resolved.
Looking up at the ceiling, the crocodile scratched his neck, a low humming sound echoing almost inaudibly from his throat.
To tell you the truth, I was about to bring Sayatan into the mix. I thought playing against her might give you the jolt you needed. I even discussed the situation with her and we both agreed that it might work.
Playing against Saya? Are we about to have a different version of the same scene again? Oh boy, here we go. I mean, he's a really great player and all, but wouldn't that be a bit, I don't know, unorthodox?
And yet, I have no idea what happened, Benjamin. You've been starting to pick up momentum like crazy over the past few weeks. I could barely recognize you.
Huh?
Did something happen? Feels like your mental block just vanished. You've been playing harder than before, practicing harder too. You're one of the first ones I see and the last ones out of the court. You have a drive I haven't seen in you in years.
Drive? Come to think of it, did something happen? Back when I played against that guy in the prefectural tournament, I felt like something needed to change. I felt firsthand a sensation like I was being chased by a beast, a young, inexperienced, and rough around the edges beast, but it scared me. But as soon as I tried putting the work in, I deflated again. Things have been going around in this sort of cycle for a while now. Before I even noticed it, I felt like I was just scraping by. Why put in that much effort anyway? It's not like I would be number one. No matter how hard you try, someone will always be better than you. Every time you improve, you'll just climb higher and face better people. The odds of being number one are so small, so why go through the trouble? But I had everything. I wanted for nothing, even if I hated hearing it, and even if I hated the word. I knew I was born with something most people aren't. I have a body that's perfect for sports. I have never said this in real life. My body is not even good enough for sumo. I have reflexes that never seem to dull even when I don't exercise them. I have a talent that most people don't. Somehow, knowing that just made me feel like I was stuck in a cage. Why work hard when that work will always be ignored by others? It must be so nice to be so talented. It's not like I could win against a genius anyway. I endured years of it. All along, every step of the way, there was always people who would dismiss my efforts and calling them talent. It was something I was born with, so it wasn't any surprise that I succeeded. I hated it. Even though I was getting put on a pedestal, I felt like no one was really looking at me. I felt like I had that one word thrown at me over and over to dismiss me. When I started losing, a lot of people pulled away from me. I was no longer the child star. I was no longer the future of Japanese tennis. Sure, I still have popularity. Journalists contact me every now and again to talk to me. I get asked to help coach younger kids every now and again. Sponsors still want me around, but in a way, I felt stuck. Tanabe was the new face of young Japanese tennis, a story for the ages. The man who beats all odds to become the greatest tennis hopeful the country has ever seen. I stopped caring. Why care when everything was a bygone conclusion anyway? I would always lose to Tanabe anyway. The gap would just get wider and wider. It's exactly what Keisuke's dealing with right fucking now. I was fine being number 2. It was easier to be number 2. I didn't feel like I was suffocating anymore. Why should you put in so much work into doing something you're not suited to? If Tanabe is better than me, that clearly means there's nothing I can do. That was the way I started to think. It hurt less if I thought like that. But getting close to him, someone who was so similar to Tanabe, I felt Keisuke chasing after my back every step of the way. I felt uncomfortable when I noticed he was reaching me. It's happening again, were the words that came to mind. But you never cared about that, did you? I could see how much effort you put into everything you do. You're no genius. You're not some kind of child star who is perfect at everything. If anything, I would say you're completely unsuited for tennis. Despite years of harsh training, you're not all that strong. You're not all that skillful. Everything you have because you trained harder than anyone. Come to think of it, you and Shuichi are birds of a feather, aren't you? Yet, seeing you getting close to me, it made me panic. I don't want to lose yet. I don't want him to pass me by. I don't want him to look down on me when he realizes I'm not interesting anymore. More than anyone, you're the one person I never want looking at me that way. So I did my best. I tried harder. I did everything I could to get by. At school, my personal life, tennis, all of it. I felt like I was the one who needed to keep up with you. That if I didn't do that, you'd leave me behind. At some point during that, I started having fun. Because that's the real issue, isn't it? When did tennis stop being fun for me? I don't even know anymore. Playing against you, watching you grow, feeling the pressure of being chased closely from behind, I didn't want to lose. If I lost, that would mean you wouldn't be chasing me anymore. And I never wanted it to end. I wanted you to keep chasing after me forever. Tennis is fun when I'm with you. Challenging my limits and trying my best are fun when you're around. You don't dismiss me. You don't praise me when I don't deserve it. You always watch me from up close. You see all of me. All of my effort and hard work. You praise me when I work hard and you call me out when I slack off. Dude, literally earlier in this recording session, he was slagging on you for the whole just being talented thing. That's literally what was happening. And it's happened before, too. So, no, he also does the thing you hate. I want you to keep looking at me like that. So I worked hard. I guess that's my answer. It's such a small thing, so small that it makes me want to laugh now that I think about it. More than some kind of unreachable rival or a close friend that walks side by side with me, it was you. The one guy who ignored every obstacle and tried his best, even when he didn't seem suited to tennis at all. Seeing you grow made me want to try my best too. I I think you're right. I didn't even notice it at first, but now that you mention it, I can't say it's not true. I guess I found my answer. The crocodile's brown furrow, staring down at me like I just said something absurd and nonsensical.
What do you mean, your answer?
Tennis is fun. I don't need any other reason to work hard. His eyes widen. His jaw goes slack. The crocodile stares at me like I'm a total stranger, some kind of alien life form. Can't blame him for it. What? Why are you laughing?
Tennis is fun? That's it? That's your answer? You kidding me?
Hey, don't mock me. I thought really hard about it, okay? Crocodile's bellowing laugh echoes so loudly that everyone stops what they're doing. The players in all the courts stop to stare at us, attracted by the sudden ruckus going on around them. Can you stop laughing that hard? It's embarrassing.
I just can't believe it. You looked so serious while you were thinking, and that's what you tell me? Tennis is fun. Oh my god, my sides.
Please stop it. I'm seriously regretting saying anything right now.
Sorry. I didn't mean to embarrass you. It's just that... Well, no duh. I would hope you'd find tennis fun. Otherwise, what are you doing even playing something you don't like?
Right.
Look, kid, I'm not gonna be a choosing beggar. Whatever works for you. I'm just happy you're getting your mojo back. We have a lot we need to work on.
We do?
Yeah. For starters, your stamina is crap. You might be fine for shorter matches, but when you play against someone who can really drag things out, you lose steam way too quick.
Yeah, I know that.
If you make it to the pros like that, you're not gonna last. 5-set matches are gonna be the norm for you, and you won't have the juice for that. Your stamina is the first thing we need to work on.
Sure. Thank you for pointing out the obvious, and here I thought you actually had something useful to offer.
Other than that, we really need to work on your spin shots.
My spin shots? Crocodile nods, the playful smile disappearing from his face completely. Instead, he looks down at me with completely serious eyes, making me freeze under his watchful gaze.
Your slice is fine, but your topspin is sloppy. The ball slides too much when it should be bouncing higher. And you have no variety. Topspin is only going to be useful to you if you can use it to catch other players off guard. You need to be able to change how much spin you're putting on the ball so it bounces more irregularly.
Really? I thought my topspin was fine.
You don't use spin shots all that often. For the most part, you tend to stick with flat shots, which is I'm scratching my leg, so I'm not even close to the microphone. Sorry, this sounds weird. Which is fine for you and your play style, but when you need to rely on spin shots to change the... I'm scratching my other leg now. When you rely on spin shots to change the pace or recover from a tight spot, you need them to be as good as they can be. Fine ain't cutting it.
I guess that makes sense.
I'm gonna come up with a different training routine for you so you can focus on those two things right now. There's more we need to work on, but those are the major points at the moment.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Sayatan is really good at both of those things. Maybe you could get some pointers from her. Her top spin is killer.
We really gotta make Saya responsible for helping both me and Keisuke train.
She'll be fine. The girl can juggle way more than you give her credit for. Besides, she's been the one most worried about your mental state for years now.
She has? Now I feel bad.
Good thing is that practicing against Irishi Haruku helped you get used to opponents that play more carefully. You might not be as refined or as aggressive as Tanabe, but what you've been learning by practicing with him will surely help you during the Kanto regional tournament.
Right. Regionals are coming up. I need to be at the top of my game there. Tanabe has been beating me during both regionals and nationals for 4 years now. I don't want my last year as a student to end in overwhelming defeat, too. I'll do my best. Crocodile smiles again, placing his heavy hand on my shoulder and giving it a squeeze.
Good. That's what I want to hear. Now go get ready to head home. Practice is over for the day.
Already? I can still go on.
I have to close down the court, kid. I can't keep hanging around just because you want to practice more.
All right, fine.
Good. I'm gonna go let the others know. It seems like some of the kids are already packing up. There's a bunch who don't even seem to notice what time it is.
Not like we get a ton of natural light in here in the first place. It doesn't surprise me at all. I watch Coach walking up to the other members, letting people know to wrap up one by one. Quickly walk up to the nearby bench, grab my things, and head into the locker room. That was a show. Out of nowhere, a single rabbit jumps in front of me, making me shriek and jump back. Whoa, easy there, it's just me. Don't do that. Sheesh, sorry. It's not my fault you don't pay attention to your surroundings. What do you want, Saya? What was that about? The coach was laughing, like, really hard. It caught me by surprise. That was just him being an idiot and laughing at me for saying tennis is fun. Whoa, you actually said that? Yes. Why do you look so shocked about it? I'm just surprised is all.
If you say so.
Are you excited? Regionals is in a week.
I guess. There's nothing too special about it.
What? No way! That's everything special about it. We're our last year as students, you know.
Are we? I hadn't noticed.
Boo, don't be snippy with me.
Maybe if this were nationals, I'd be more excited. Right now, I just want to avoid getting ahead of myself.
Really? That doesn't sound like you.
I don't know what to tell you. It's the truth.
Well, so long as you take it seriously, I guess I can't complain.
Knowing you, I'm sure you'd find a way to complain regardless. You're really good at that.
I'm gonna go shower and get changed. I'll see you tomorrow.
See ya, and good job today. Keep it up.
What? Encouragement? From you? What is going on here?
That's it. I'm leaving. Goodbye, Saya.
Bye-bye. Talk to you later.
Jesus. She's such a pain in the ass sometimes. Drop my bag in front of my locker, fishing at a towel I can use to dry myself from all the accumulated spew. Now that the excitement is over, my head is starting to hurt. I think I might have thought too hard in there. I'm not used to this. With the corner of my eye, I noticed a mostly white shape walking up next to me and dropping a bag nearby. You're still here. Coach and Saya both held me up for a while. I'd already have been out of the door if it weren't for that. That's not too bad. Was the talk with Coach helpful? It was a lot of things. What does that mean? Don't worry about it. I finished spraying myself with the strong deodorant I always bring with me. I don't like showering here, but that doesn't mean I want to walk back home smelling bad. The deodorant is enough to neutralize the smell of sweat for at least a little while before I can head home and take a bath there. By the way, are you coming over again tonight? Oh, right. I forgot to ask about that.
Ask what?
Just if it would be okay for me to. I don't want to impose. You're not imposing, you dumbass. You want to be away from your family for a bit, don't you? Yeah.
Then you can stay over. Having you around isn't any kind of trouble, but plus, I appreciate the company.
Aw, thank you. That's really sweet.
Don't start getting sappy on me in public, though. We don't want to call too much attention to ourselves, remember? I'll wait for you by the gate. There's too many people in here, and I don't want to be in the way. Again, with the ins and ons being backwards. What the fuck is with that, dude?
That is, unless you want to take a bath when you get back to my place instead. Nah, I prefer to stick to routine. Besides, even if it isn't that far away, I don't want to walk around feeling sticky and smelly for any longer than I absolutely need to.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll see you outside.
Yeah.
I grab my things and walk out of the locker room just as Keisuke starts taking off his shirt, making sure to only look for a second before looking away. Fresh air. It always feels so great after practice. When my fur is still a little damp and I can feel a little breeze on it, that stuff rules. As I walk towards the gate, I notice a familiar figure in the distance, waiting. Is it Alex? I pick up my step, jog into him. Yeah, it's Alex. Hey there, Alex. I didn't think I'd see you there. Here.
I came to pick Keisuke up.
Got here a little early. He's taking a shower right now.
I know. I'm familiar with his schedule.
Huh. So you wanted to get here early. Talk about diligence.
I actually hoped I could speak with you in private, hence why I showed up earlier.
With me? What about? The wolf looks around, scanning the horizon all the way over his own shoulders.
Come with me. I would rather not be overheard.
Okay. What's going on here? Alex drags me to a nearby spot inside the school grounds. Right between the gym building and the outer wall, a patch of greenery covered by a few trees. A grassy knoll, oh god! True to his intention, there's absolutely no one around here. Well, what's going on? You're freaking me out a little bit.
His face.
Face? Whose face?
Keisuke's face. Keisuke's face. Did you truly think I would not notice the bruise?
Oh god. Time to face the reckoning. Oh boy. Just then, I feel as if the blood inside my veins had frozen immediately. My eyes go wide, staring in shock at the wolf's face as he glares at me. That look, that disapproving, menacing look stares right through me. My legs begin to shake and quiver. I desperately want to look away, yet my body is pinned down by that stare. I can't move at all. My body doesn't respond.
I require an explanation. When Keisuke left for your house, he was entirely unharmed. Why and how is there now a bruise on his face? Worse yet, one so noticeable that it could be seen even through his white fur. A bruise like that would require significant force to make. I have trouble believing a mere accident could have caused it. What happened?
It's not that noticeable, is it? I could only see it when I was looked from up close. I didn't...
You didn't what? Why is your first instinct to talk about yourself? I let Keisuke spend the night with you because I trusted you and your ability to keep him safe. I felt that if he was with you, no harm would befall him. Imagine my surprise when I show up the next day and he has a bruise.
I feel sick. My stomach begins to churn, feeling as if it were tying itself in endless knots. I want to get sick. My heart starts to pound inside my chest so hard that I can feel it in my mouth.
Speak.
Oh, Jesus. That single word spoken tersely and like a command snaps me out of my trance. Just then my entire body shakes and I feel like I had been put under a spell to hold me still. Even if I know that isn't the case. Worse yet, I hadn't noticed at all that I had begun holding my breath at some point. As soon as my body relaxes, I gasp and struggle for multiple fast, shallow breaths. We had a fight.
A fight?
He said something really hurtful, and before I even realized what I was doing, my body...
So you hit him because he said something you did not like.
It's not like that. I lost control.
And that's supposed to make things better. That's supposed to make it acceptable.
No, of course not. I just... It still doesn't feel real. I can't believe I did that. Why did I do that? I hate violence. I never want to hurt anyone. So why did I want to hurt him just as bad as he hurt me that time? My throat contracts over and over again. My eyes start to burn. A heavy hand comes crashing down on my shoulder, nearly knocking me down to the floor. Instead, it holds me in place, gripping so tightly that I feel as if my shoulder is about to be torn off just by those strong fingers.
I shall make myself clear. I do not care. Whatever reasoning and excuses you shall give, you shall not move me.
His claws start to dig into me, making me panic, thinking that he just might tear my shoulder off after all.
I chose to put my trust in you, and you failed it. You do not want to know what I will do to you if you so much as put a single finger on him in an inappropriate manner. In fact, the only reason I stay my hand right now is because I do not wish to cause Keisuke undue grief.
I swallow hard, nodding along to his words, feeling as if all the blood were draining from my face. My hands, my feet, all of it suddenly feels so cold.
For the time being, Keisuke and I will need to have a conversation. Until such a time, I will be keeping my eyes on you.
I understand. He's right. Keisuke went along with it so easily that I wanted to fool myself into thinking everything was okay. If he didn't think anything of it, then there's no harm done, right? Except that's not true at all. Just because Keisuke's forgiving, or maybe because he doesn't know better, maybe he's been so messed up from the way he's been raised that he can't help but blame himself and act like he deserved it, whatever his reason might be, though. I did do something unacceptable. Hurting him like that. There's no way I can gloss over that. I shouldn't. It's wrong. Even after we did that, I want to vomit.
Compose yourself. You best not say a single word to him about our conversation. If you go about looking like that, he will certainly know that something has transpired.
Okay. Alex walks out of this small spot, going back to the main gate so he can wait for Keisuke. Once he's gone, the full weight of the conversation we had just hits me all at once. I fall to the ground, hitting my back against the nearby wall and my ass to the ground. I remain seated for what feels like ages, my brain going around in circles about what just happened. Before I know it, my eyes begin to burn as tears start swelling up. My shoulder still stings badly. In fact, I can see a few red spots forming right where Alexander's claws had been, beginning to stain the fabric above them with small red circles. Burying my face in my knees, I begin to sob. Sometime later, I don't even know how much time had passed by the time I managed to pull myself together. Quickly grab my towel, shoving it under my shirt, trying to clean off the drops of blood coming to the surface before they could stain my shirt too visibly. The stains were just too obvious, though I ended up having to put my school jacket on top just to hide them. When I walk out, Keisuke and Alex are waiting for me with barely anyone else around.
There you are. I was starting to get worried. Alex said you remembered something you needed to do.
I looked at the two of them, quickly averting my gaze when Alex's eyes looked in my direction. Yeah, there was someone I needed to talk to.
Are you okay? You seem...
Can't quite put my finger on it. I'm fine. It's not a big deal. Just a awkward conversation with someone I know.
If you say so. I was just worried you were taking a while.
Sorry. I lost track of time. That's not a lie. Shall we get going?
Sure, I was getting a bit tired of waiting around. And again, I'm sure you would have felt the same if you had been waiting for me to shower and dry myself off when you had nothing to do. You did seem to take your time with your shower. Don't get on my case. You know how long it takes for me to properly dry my fur. Should we buy you a stronger hand dryer? Are you kidding? The one I have already comes close to singeing my fur as it is. Good point.
The two begin walking home, with me absent-mindedly following behind them.
Oh, that reminds me, Alex. I'm gonna need some more fur care lotion. Could we go out and buy some tomorrow? Your assets have been seized, remember? You'll need to put in a requisition to have it bought for you, especially considering how expensive the lotion you normally use is. Right. I'd forgotten about it. Do not worry. I do not think they'd take too long to get it. They likely approve of whatever you ask for right away. They're only doing this to make you feel how much you depend on them. I know that. Doesn't mean I don't still hate it. I can understand the feeling.
Those two talk normally as if nothing had even happened. It's scary just how Alexander can go on pretending like there's no problem. And Keisuke, he's really acting like nothing's happened since yesterday. Even with Saya-chan, the only other person to notice his bruise, asked about it, and he He just made up a lie on the spot about getting hit in the face with a ball during yesterday's practice. How can these two keep appearances so easily? I can barely even bring myself to drag my feet on the floor. I want to crawl into a hole and die, so how do they do it? Trauma! That's the secret ingredient.
Forgive me for the indiscretion, but I do believe I have to ask. When do you plan on going back home?
Not for a couple more days at least. I want to be as far away from that place as possible, at least for a little while.
Do you not worry that you could inconvenience him?
Alex looks back behind me and at me. His gaze immediately causes me to straighten my back again, putting on the best fake smile I could muster. Well, a little bit. Benjamin said it was fine, though.
Yeah, even if he says it, isn't there some concern over how it is for his family? You barely even know his mother, don't you? Wouldn't it be inconvenient for you to stay for so many days?
You're probably right. I do want to spend some time with him, though.
You could alternate. Spend a few days at my apartment and then go back to his house for your last day before you return home. Would that not be more appropriate?
A chill runs way down my spine when I finally realize what's happening. He's trying to convince Keisuke to leave. He doesn't want me to be around Keisuke. When I notice that, I start to panic a little bit. I suppose so. It's really no problem. You can stay with me as long as you want. Oh boy. The words leave my mouth before I can properly think about it. More of a plea than anything, and a pitiful one at that. Please, no, don't leave yet. Anything but that. Calm down, Benjamin. I know how you feel, but I'm just trying to be considerate of your family. While Keisuke answers me without noticing anything has gone wrong, Alexander glares at me, clearly unhappy with my choice of words.
Are you sure about that? I know it must be tiring to change your routine so suddenly. Was it not tiring to have Keisuke over for all of last night?
No,
What did you two even do last night? Did everything go well?
That's,
Yes?
Oh, no, is Alex gonna ask about it here, now? He wouldn't. Yes, everything went pretty well. Had a lot of fun, actually.
Oh?
It's not like we were up to a lot. We hung out, watched some TV together, played a few games. Benjamin cooked for me. Oh, and I got to know his brother a little bit, too. I think Akiyoshi-kun and I might have some things in common. I'm just glad to have given a good impression.
I see. That certainly is desirable. So there were no hiccups?
Nothing that jumps out to me right away. Unless I did something way inappropriate without noticing. Did I do anything like that, Benjamin? What? No, of course not. Whoa, you seem a little pale. Are you sure you're all right?
I'm fine. Keisuke is right. You do look unwell. Perhaps it would be best to let him rest. Why don't you spend the night at my apartment and we can talk things through and come to a decision over what you'll do for the next few days after that.
Yeah, that might be for the best. I really don't want to tax Benjamin so much when he's looking like that. But I can't. I can't come up with any words to protest. Without letting anything slip, Alex easily steered the situation into the outcome he wanted. What is there for me to even do against that?
In that case, we should head to the station. We'll have an easier time finding a taxi there.
Yeah, that's true, but... Benjamin, would you be okay to walk home on your own? I don't know if I want to leave you alone when you're looking like that. I want to ask him to walk me home. I want to do anything I can get him to come with me. Alexander looms from behind me, glaring so blatantly at me when I find it hard to breathe. I get it. You don't trust me. You don't want him around me. I understand why. I messed up really bad. But can I at least get another chance? It's okay. I'm just tired. I can walk home, no problem. You sure? I say the words that Alexander undoubtedly wants me to say. I don't have the courage to speak up against him. Nor do I have the right. Right now, All I can do is my best so I can make up for the terrible mistake I made. Alexander's whole purpose is being here to protect Keisuke. Of course he wouldn't let Keisuke go with someone who hurt him. And I know how I look right now. To him, I might as well be some kind of abusive boyfriend. It's not like I gave him any other possible interpretations, did I? Okay. Just call me if anything happens, okay? Of course. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, though. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Let us get going, then. Do you want me to carry your bags, Keisuke? Nah, don't worry about it. I'm used to carrying these. Bidding me or that would be biting, but bidding me a quick farewell. Keisuke and Alexander turn around a different corner, quickly disappearing from my view entirely. Last thing I see is the sight of Keisuke's back as he chats and laughs happily with Alexander. I feel like I'm gonna be sick. I don't even realize what time it is when I get home. Somehow I'm vaguely aware that I wandered around way longer than I should have, desperately trying to clear my head. All that's left to me is to wait and see what happens. Alexander will probably try talking to Keisuke about what happened. I can't imagine Keisuke not discussing it with him. Those two are so close. Well, will Alexander convince him to break up with me? God, I hope not. But right now, I really need to find a way to make up for this. With thoughts like that, and without even showering first, I collapse onto my bed, letting the entire world fade to black around me. Jesus Christ. Well, if there was ever a fucking way to respond to criticism, the whole fucking last episode of Keisuke's Rot was spent fucking being like, oh, you can't just blast past something like that. But, oh man, what the hell? And yeah, they're not ignoring it. They're addressing it. They're really going into it. Shit. I guess this would be the character who address the concept of abuse in a relationship. Wow, man. I feel like I say this every time, but I do not envy the tasks of properly scripting out the situations and conversations that are coming up in this game. Because, oh man. Well, as far as this session of Tennis Ace is concerned, that's it. So, thank y'all for watching this episode these episodes of Tennis Ace. On the next one, I think it's a June update. I don't know. Maybe I don't fucking know who's getting the update. It'll be one of the other characters for sure. But that all being said, if you want to play this game for yourself, the link to it is in the description down below. It is free, but in development, so feel free to support it if you would like. Also in the description are various ways to support me through either following my social media accounts or through crowdfunding websites like Patreon or Ko-fi. If you want to be notified when future episodes of this series come out, the subscribe and bell buttons are down below. I found out more here recently that about half of all the people who watch stuff on my channel aren't subscribed. What the fuck, guys? So please do that. And if you liked this and want to see other stuff I have already done that is similar to it, I have linked to some of those in the cards up above. That all being said, everyone, I have been the Trained Unprofessional, and you're not. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone! This was fucking exhausting, man. Jesus Christ.